Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So it's been a bit of a strange week in fandom, I will say. A bit of a weird, kind of a quiet week, but very, very noisy, right? Very noisy for a quiet week in fandom. What's been going on? Well, we had that Doomsday thing happen, and boy, did it create a mushroom cloud that, again, covered the whole freaking week. And, like, something I really didn't want to be dealing with, but I guess that's where we are. So if you don't know about Doomsday, spelled Doom is the name of a person, so it's Doomsday. You might say, oh, that's a dumb idea. You'll be right. There's quite a few of those. We're going to see. Anyway, so the trailer came out. They had a teaser on Sunday. Like, people were like, ooh, what's this? And then the trailer came out on Monday, and it was awful. It was condescending. It had no connection to Doctor Who whatsoever. Had this new character, and it was fronted by this woman called Suze Kempner, who I'd never heard of before. So Suze Kempner, as it turns out, is a political activist. So she's all about trans rights and politics, right? So she didn't. This trailer was criticized, and it wasn't her being criticized. It was the trailer, because it was garbage, right? It was unwatchable garbage, and people were like, "Well, what is this?" Because here's the thing: I don't think there's any tolerance for bad Doctor Who anymore, right? We've had very bad Doctor Who, basically essentially through the Whittaker and Chibnall era, that people pretended to like, and since that ended, people forgot that was a normal thing they needed to do. They needed to pretend they liked something so they could be on the right tribal line. The reason they pretended to like the Whittaker-Chibnall era, or convinced themselves they did, because in their heads, they deeply believe that if you didn't like the Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall era, you hate black people and gay people, and so you want to vote for Donald Trump or Nigel Farage or Brexit, right? And you loved Boris Johnson. They got this cartoon cutout of you in your head, of one in your head, they say, this, it's all complete truth, right? And it's complete nonsense, right? And so we had years of people having to pretend frankly awful television wasn't frankly awful television. And we all know it was frankly awful television. You just need to look at the metrics, right? If it did well, I would have said, well, it's just not for me. But it didn't do well. It did absolutely terribly. Why did it do terribly? Because it's very, very bad, right? So that was the reaction it got from everybody in fandom. Like, the entirety of fandom were like, ooh. It was like, oh, well, this is not very good. One guy made a parody video of it, and then spent the week apologizing for it, because that's what happened. This is a fascinating thing. We all forgot we lived on tribal lines, right? And we just reacted honestly, which was, I thought, quite lovely, right? I haven't seen that for quite some time. And then they remember, oh, tribal lines. So this guy was it Rich? I talk about it in the video. Jack Reeves, I think, is talented guy, intelligent guy. Like, they've been sold this nonsense that they believe that, and they've been taught not to think. Right? I have more sympathy for that than I do for the next person we're going to look at, because this is from this morning, right? This never freaking stops. It is incredible, right? So this is from John Dorney, talented guy, intelligent guy. Has done, but a lot of good work, right? His Twitter feed is all about Boris Johnson right now, and he would assume I love Boris Johnson because, again, I think he looks at people with a caricatured, two-dimensional view of the world, right? That's how I think he views, like, everything in a very, like, numbskullish, silly, immature way. That's how I think he views other people, because not that he's not intelligent, not that he's not talented. It's that he's subscribed to a philosophy that just is ridiculous, stupid, and obviously not true, and all this spinning that we're seeing is about that. So he comes along. I just saw this today. I was like amazed that it says, "Note to trolls of fandom." Nobody trolled this woman. I like that at first. Anyway, it's like what I was doing when I was interacting with her. Yeah, I mean, people criticised this trailer, and then she put out this thing saying, oh, welcome to my channel, I'm all into trans rights. Everybody said it was cringe. That was the main thing, cringe, right? I'm all into trans rights and politics. If my comedy makes you cringe, that's just good. I mean, essentially, she totally believed that she would be able to walk in here, get a round of applause from all the right people in history, and then dunk on the chuds. Dunk on those icky, white, misogynistic males. Ugh. And it didn't work out that way. She had her arse handed to her over and over again because she was totally ignorant, didn't know what she was talking about. And she, again, had her ass handed to her relentlessly. It was a very humiliating spanking, not physical, obviously, and she did not come off well from it. And frankly, if you have a business, don't hire political activists, right? They put their political activism before your business. I'm not buying any of this garbage from Doomsday. I probably wasn't buying it when I saw the trailer. Much more so now, right? Much more so now. And you know, we don't live in an well, does anybody think we live in an economy where luxury items, people, buyers for luxury items can be told to piss off? There aren't so many of them anymore, mate, right? You need to calm down. So I have to interject at this point. He actually did calm down, right? After this interaction, after I recorded this video, we had a little bit more of a back and forth. I basically said to him, look, I think I say it right now, you know, you're going to hear it in a second. But like, we want to support you, John. We want to support Big Finish. Being called bigots when we're really genuinely not makes it very hard. And I think he heard that, right? I think he heard that, and he seemed to back down for that very, very quickly. Smart man, obviously. But, props to him for that. And I don't think it would be fair to put this video out without putting in that addendum, which I've just done. Anyways, he says, note to trolls of fandom, do not try and take on comedian who has already had far bigger people coming at her. We're not coming at her, it's called legitimate criticism, and I did take her on, and she ended up looking stupid. Just look at my other videos, just look at my Twitter feed. Right? As with many people, because she was talking absolute bollocks, right? Absolute bollocks. It's like watching Star Wars fans tangle with Carrie Fisher. You know she's dead, right? She's smarter and funnier than you. Okay, I'm going to tell you now, John. She isn't. That's bottom line. She isn't smarter and she isn't funnier than me. I can say that pretty categorically. I watched her humor. It's all wound up with this hatred of everything. Like, oh, hate men, hate this, hate that, everything's bad, let me tell you. It's not funny, right? If you find it funny, good for you, right? I think she's the right identity, and speaking about the right politics, this is why you're saying she's so clever, right? She's funnier and she's smarter and funnier. No, she really isn't. If she's smarter than funnier than me, then why did I hand her ass many times over? You will lose. Well, she did lose. In fact, but who really lost are the licensees. Again, people to Big Finish, what, put 10, 20 grand into a box set? Are they going to get that money back? I doubt it. Given her, frankly, awful display on social media, I think Big Finish will be completely justified saying, we can't move forward with this anymore. It's unmarketable now because of this Sue's woman. We would like we would like to reimburse us because you just destroyed it, right? And I think, I don't know, would you be able to, would that be able to go in court? It would be great if it would. Anyway, so I replied to him, amazingly, never replies back, right? when you hand them their ass and they know they can't fight, and they just shrink away. The frankly awful trailer she was criticized on its, in parentheses, lack of merit. She took the criticism that was leveled at her personally, and insisted it was about her politics. Then she got roundly roasted over and over again. She came out looking worse in most interactions. It was her that went on the attack, obviously thinking she could easily dunk on an audience for this trans media event. Looking down her nose at them as evil alt-right chuds, and got her ass handed to her. That's basically what happened. Doomsday will probably cause financial loss for its licensees. And listen, I've spoken to colleagues of John Dorney, people who, maybe higher up on the food chain than John Dorney. I know, everything you suspect is true, right? I would say, if you think something's not making money, it probably isn't, right? If you think somebody's lying to you about business, they probably are. Dan also weighs in, right? He says, this is a great response. Trolls of fandom, their potential customers, yours too, and quite a few less now. I completely disavow pestering Kempner. Nobody pestered her, right? Or anyone. But this isn't an accurate representation of what went down this week. Tired of seeing some portray this fandom as a great unwashed rabble of serfs. That's an impressive straw man you got there. What's a straw man? No. You are portraying a group of people in a deeply inaccurate way to bolster your worldview. That's called bigotry, right? That's called prejudice. That's one hell of ego. Damn reply. So this is probably going on. It's probably going on and on and on and on and on because, bottom line, what's all the screaming about? They can't stand being wrong. They cannot stand being wrong. And look at this trailer. It's garbage. It is, and that's the bottom line. When you finally get down to it and say, just look at the trailer, everybody goes, oh, it's garbage. There's no way of saying it's not garbage. There's no way of saying, oh, you just don't like it because she's a woman. No, it's just garbage. It's poor. It's poor quality work. Anyway, fine. So on my live, I do live streams every night. Please join me. I'm on Rumble, on YouTube as well. But Rumble's my main channel. Rumble does way better for you in live streams than YouTube. Join me on Rumble, subscribe on Rumble, subscribe on YouTube. If you insist, right? If you insist, like, share, all those things are fantastic. Thank you very much. Come and hang out on live stream. We have fun. We do have fun. We take the piss. And also, look, John Dorney, you want to come hang out? You want to have your say? Go ahead. You're not going to, right? Because you know how intellectually bankrupt your argument is. So you're not going to do it. I know that, you know that, and we all know the reason for that, right? They always come up with these silly reasons. Yeah, no, you're not going to. But you are welcome to, and I will treat you with respect, as I would have treated Suze Kempner with respect if she came on. But no, I mean, as the respect, same respect that's leveled to me. If you're rude to me, I'll probably be rude back to you. Right? Oh, what a weird way of living life. Darling, you should get used to it. I think that's great. This Suze woman, again, just strikes me as someone who's never had to bend to an audience, to please an audience. And then now she's just like, I think she's caught in a, she has the right politics, she has the right worldview, she's very vocal about it. So I think any support she has is tribal. Because, again, she's intelligent, much like Dorney, she's talented, much like Dorney, much like this other guy we're going to look at. They're all intelligent, they're all talented, right? But they got this brainworm in their head that makes them hate other people while screaming that they're not hateful ones. Very weird, very weird. Anyway, this was my live stream last night. Come and join us on the live stream. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Look at the video. Sign up my Substack, Instagram, Twitter. All those things are fantastic, baby. It will make your life wonderful in every way. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Now, let me head over to me from last night. Anyway, so I think we're in a bit of a golden age. The thing with Suze this week really did kind of indicate that, how it was like vomited out instantly. Even like, like people later in the week kind of like shook their heads like, wait, what? I'm siding with who? No, I'm on the wrong side of history. And that happened with me. With what's the name? Here, I'll show you. I kept trying to get Jack Reeves, talented and obviously intelligent because he's talented, right, and witty. You don't become talented and witty without being intelligent, right? So he was upset that. So he's been on an apology tour for this all week. This guy, because he made this hilarious video where he took the piss out of the frankly shitty Doomsday trailer, right? Which was everybody's normal initial reaction, because it was shit and it was condescending, right? It was just like, Susan on one hand is like, yay, I'm in the Hooniverse. Let me tell you about trans rights and politics. Hooniverse. And the other thing is, look, I just took a job. Why are you hassling me? Well, pick a lane, darling. Right? Again, one was she thought Doctor Who fandom was idiot nerds who didn't know anything. And she expected to be able to dunk on the chuds because she thought herself superior because she's a bigot. And like all bigots, they believe their own bigotry. See, this is why their claims of we live in such a racist world are so stupid. Because, this is what this is going to highlight. That we live in such a way, it's so stupid because, we don't actually see much racism, right? That it's very hard for them to quantify, right? It is, and which you'll see right now. Anyway, so he was all upset. So I tried to talk to him nicely. Big mistake. Said, look, dude, only believe things you know you personally know. People lie a lot about anyone along tribal grounds, and and then just agree with those lies. Those lies are facts. People can't stand him because he fairly critiqued the Jodie Whittaker era and didn't like the factual things he said. is actually what one step closer, which we're going to highlight what it is today, right? Because I think this is an important lesson. So then, he thinks it over. Now, a lot of people were responding. I didn't think I was on my right, but I thought, he thought it over, and he replies to me, "Fuck off, Rabbi." Really? And he puts two of my thumbnails, and he thinks he's made a point, right? So I replied to him, "Dude, think for yourself. This is called comedy." And it enrages people because it rips the piss out of them by showing them they're completely full of crap. That's pretty true. If you have any actual allegation to make, go ahead and make it, and I'll swat it down. And we all know that's the truth, right? As we're about to see. Look, I'm all for crass humor, but those thumbnails aren't funny, according to you. Woke skull cunt. Okay. I mean, yeah, humor is subjective. Yeah, you're wrong. I'm right. That was funny. You see? Easy peasy. If I say it, it's probably funny. But it's just Jodie with a dominatrix body. What is wrong with that? Okay, I want you to articulate what's wrong with that. And a guy in blackface? Ha, comedy gold. Well, what was the actual joke? You see, you didn't get that far because you're a bigot, right? Jess comes off extremely creepy, so you're hard to creepy, so you're a hard avoid. Okay. So now articulate your objection. What? And I would love them to know this. What actually do you think is wrong with these thumbnails? You come from a confused generation of woke scolds, and you feel they must be wrong. Now apply your intellect to and substantiate that feeling. You won't be able to. Your arguments will, I'll say, basically fall apart. Sexism, racism. Figured that was clear, but all right. Well, you do you. So then I reply, and he vanishes. Obviously, nope. No racism there at all. We're actually going to look at this, right? No racism there at all. Again, can you articulate what is racist about it? Am I supporting the idea of blackface? Am I belittling black people? No, I'm belittling blackface very clearly. So how do you think it's racist? And that's a valid question, right? The trouble is you figured that was clear, but you didn't think about it, right? And they don't. They're pre-programmed. These are NPCs. Like, I just hope to rattle one of them and also break the programming, as is now becoming obvious. So look, this is the thing he found very offensive, right? And I got flack for this thumbnail before, right? I don't, some chat I used to go on really begged me, do you want me to airbrush it out? I'm like, fine, whatever, I'll do it as a favor, right? The current era of Doctor Who, full of contempt and tokenism, according to the Guardian newspaper. Check out my new companion for the next season. Check out my new companion for the next season. It's the most diverse ever. I better take it off because you never know. YouTube is funky right now, right? That's why Rumble's doing great for me. I'm telling you, Rumble is doing so much better. So who am I taking the piss out? Am I taking the piss out of black people? No, obviously not, right? I'm taking the piss out of white liberals who are insanely racist. And that's why their heads are flipping out, right? I'm taking the piss out of people who are angry, who call that racist, because they deserve to have the piss taken out of them. And as for this, really, this is very mild. This is it's funny. It's clearly humor. It does just say, women are inferior. Like, what is wrong? Just articulate it, right? I can articulate what's wrong with you, right? Just articulate what you think's wrong with it. And they never can. And they just go, well, it's obvious. Or just, then tell me. But can't you see? No, tell me. Act like I'm an alien. Tell me what's wrong with it. And you see, what happens then is they got to think out their argument, right, and say it out. And when they hear it out loud, their faces turn red, right? And they can't go through with it, right? They get to a point where they're admitting, like, killing sentient beings is probably okay, and they get to places where they don't agree to, but they don't have any choice, and they get mad at you. So yeah, this is hilarious. A true alert to the entirety of every fandom. That is true. Icky Thump. That's one strange new world that no one wants to visit. Exactly. I'm not supporting the idea of fetishizing Jodie. I mean, quite the opposite, quite frankly. My stomach is. I'm an older man now, right? My stomach's very weak. Like, there's some things I don't think I could stand watching, right? And dominatrix Jodie having fun might be one of them, right? I'm actually kind of sure about that, which makes it funny. Ding-a-lings, it makes it funny. Yeah, where'd it go? Hang on. I lost it many times over. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Here. Right. Makes it funny. That's the thing. But again, this is also why they've been programmed not to communicate with each other, with anybody outside, the mind cult, because it's the same reason you're not allowed to communicate with anybody who's in a cult, right? It's because they get, once they start hearing things from outside the mind cult, things start to fall apart. I mean. The trouble is with the whole Democrats thing, who are totally in a mind cult. There's too much support for it because there's too many of them in it. Because they're all worried about being wrong, right? That's what it boils down to. They are all worried about being wrong. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.